Hello, folks, and welcome back to Season Discovery. I have not played this in an age. I've not played this in an age. Um, like I popped in once in a while to deal with auctions, but that's it. Now, something to say. I may have lost a few auctions there because of forgetting to log in. I left it till kind of last second. Uh, Retired is retired. Uh, this is kind of done. My inventory is messier than I thought. But yeah, retired is retired. Well, most people have moved over to Grey Parsers, that sister guild. So that's something I'll be doing today. I'll see if anyone's available to let me in. I'll just do these auctions first. Honestly, I don't know how long that auction episode's gonna be. I think we're looking at like hours. Um, 31. I want to keep a 20 stack on me. I think a gold something is fair enough for that. I could check the previous prices, but I just kind of want to offload them. So if it's not perfect, it's not really a big deal to me. Yeah. I think this is actually an improvement. Maybe. Once Encourage is out, Frost Oil will have a value. Its use is for melees like me to be able to hit the and be relevant in the optional boss in AQ. Without Frost Oil, I can't help. Um, the boss needs to be frozen, and then get the shit beat out of him. I can't remember the mechanic. I just remember you need frost. The way the boss is that if you try and do it on even now in retail, if you try and do the boss without frost damage, you can't kill it. And frost oil does not work in on a modern weapon. You actually need a weapon from classic WoW to actually harm it. So yeah, it's a bitch and a half even nowadays. One, two, three. Yeah, I'm still stopping and starting a ton. One issue I currently ran into, beyond this randomly walking thing, is the I fell behind on naming my footage quite a while back, and like most of the series, I've caught up and named a lot of it, but there's still a ton that isn't named. So I'm gonna have to go through and name it. Issue is I've shuffled stuff around to different folders, so I'm going to have to... Disgusting. Pull it back. Immediate undercut. Jesus. Go for it. I'm just gonna have to pull them all back from the folder and hope I have everything. I'll look around, make sure. That being said, there is an external hard drive that's not currently plugged in, and I really don't have to plug that one back in. But to be honest, I think I was at least halfway sensible about what I put on it, and it was literally just what I'm done with. Of course, it's always possible one of those got shoved in there, but I don't think so. If Anne ever does turn up, then I will just, whenever it is, I'll just re-upload it and be done with it. Whatever it is, I'll just put it on. I need to take my headset off, 1 second. Enjoy the Stormwind music. It's great as always. Not that you can probably hear me from here. The mic has a very narrow range of audio, meaning it has a degree of noise cancelling, but only a degree. And then back. And to wipe down the controller. There's a crumb on it, and it's just like, eh. Just 2? Damn. I hoped more had sold. Alright then. Hmm. 12, 17, 22. Sure, 37. I wonder how the audio balance is. Because in a lot of the older episodes I was dealing with, the audio balance was kind of shite. But I think that's because my mic was being lowered by Dropbox without me even realizing. So, I think it's that. Not Dropbox. I was sending messages to Mum via Facebook, via the computer rather than the phone, and that starts lowering your mic for some reason. From anything from a few points to in double digits. So you go, my mic's on 100, so it goes from 100 to 95, 100 to 80, 70, and maybe 60s. I'm not sure if I've seen that how low it's gone, but yeah, it can be a bit drastic.
Open for business.
Big. Oh, whoops. Use the wrong hotkeys. And stopping again. Hit spacebar by mistake. 1, 2. So once I put this up, I'll message. I'll pause and see about getting into that guild. Feels bad to leave retired, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have to start doing more dungeons and whatnot. I'm awake during the day, so hopefully the timing will be better. One issue I was having was just when I was playing before, a lot of people would be offline. So, it just clashing, you know? So, and plus with a lot of the guild going from retired to great parsers, there's probably going to be more people active, so it'll be easier to get into a dungeon run. The only thing is, I wonder how many will be even interested in running dungeons. They may be geared beyond that point. May have to try and gear up to other things, but I'm not sure with my state of gear. I could try and, get into dungeon runs without them, like as in, with randos. But I'm kind of nervous since I'm using a controller. I'm nervous of people, and I've tried before and I haven't had a good time with it. So it's just like, But I can get all the weapon specializations now. That's something. They added it in the last phase, or this phase. I think it was last phase. But yeah, hopefully my audio bounce is fine. Hopefully. Giant egg. Alright, I have 41 AE. 43 AE, so I need 86. Not sure why I have this many giant eggs, but we'll go for it. Seems odd to me that I would have left that much in it, but maybe I just forgot. And there's all the Shadow Power elixirs selling. But the Gong quest is currently active, and I would like to get involved in it. I need to go check out the parameters for it. I've kind of fallen out of playing this. I know I played so much before, and I just kind of fell out of playing it. I got really into playing Dark Souls again. Before this all started, I had finished Demon's Souls. I did Dark Souls 1. I started into Dark Souls 1, but then fell out of it. Was playing other things, got into this. Then I got back into it, and I've done Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and I'm into Dark Souls 3 now. So, yeah. When you'll see those, not sure. I need to get back to... There's a bonus thing I want to record for a few of the series, and I've just been putting it off because it's just like, oh god, what if it doesn't come out good? So it's just me putting it off again and again and again. An opportunity to do it a while back, but it just sounded like, yeah, I was stressed about it, so I just kept putting it off. Yeah, I'm in kind of cruddy gear, and I really need to get some dungeons going. I think I still have greens on. I'll check in a mo.
Safe travels.
Few greens, mostly blues and purples. Though one of those blues is from Sunken Temple. Well, it wasn't bad when MC was the raid, but probably needs to be traded out at this point. I'm not sure if that's my controller acting up or the game. So okay, there's a lot of elixirs of shadow power after selling. I, from the looks of it, could probably justify making some more. There is a fee on paying for all these, but it's really low. It's not free like some of the other things were, but it's damn low. Historically low. Thank ye kindly. Cancelling. I still have 10 more there, so probably shouldn't try and sell it. Make more till they sell. Is that it? Hope I didn't lose them. Anyway, shifting sand quest items. Yeah, the mallet stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go deal with this skill thing. You know, I have the best of timing. Um, actually, there might be someone else here. Basically, simply put, there's a raid going on, basically. Here, BRB. Maybe someone else I know isn't in it. But I just found an LFR thing. Um, huh. Awesome. Do people actually use this? Category dungeons. That's Bola. Sounds familiar. Needs tag. Huh, you can list multiple things. Okay. There seems to be some use of it, but I wonder how... Crystal Veil. Oh, yeah, yeah. New boss. Okay, this is cool. But anyway. Okay. Now I can see all level ranges for dungeons, and it's not that much grander. Uh, Anyway, um, BRB. Yeah, don't see anyone else on that I've chatted to before that would basically know of me. So I'm gonna wait till after the raid and I'll message someone. Um, I think it will just be easier to get an invite if they know who I am, rather than just some rando asking for one. To them, a rando. I'm already on the Discord, already actually in the with the tag for Grey Parsers, but they still may not ID me. So yeah, I'll just wait for the raid to be over. I've got terrible timing. I was just like, fuck it. I've been putting off going back to this game for long enough. I need to just fucking do it, and I did, and it was terrible timing. So for once, I don't actually need a thing in the bottom left, but we'll stay the course. Let's try and get used to playing again. Um, what kind of quests do I have? I do have some stuff I could solo. Um, Not much though. I have to do Ubers. I never got to do Anixia, so I'll see if I can't do Ubers later. But for now, I'm gonna go do some PvP. Help me get into the swing of this again and remember my keybinds. That is oddly unbound. I wonder if they've changed something. Uh, that one. Either I swore all my buttons were full. So either I remove something, or they got rid of something. So I'm just gonna head in here and chat to the book dude.
Hello. See you around. Need something?
No, nothing else here. Unless they put it on a different NPC. Actually, there may be some solvable parts to the whole Scarab quest. Introduction. It's very timed. Whatever. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm probably never going to get this done because the boss. There's items that only one of will drop from a boss, and if everyone wants to do the quest, then you have to run it many times. So, and if there's 20 people in the raid, 25 people in the raid, and only one drops, that means you have to run it, and if it's only one needed for each, you have to run it 25 times. But if you need two each, then it's 50 times for each person. So, I'm probably never going to get this done, but we'll take a crack at it. I'm not going to count it out beforehand. Okay. It starts in Cenarian Hold. May as well get it started. May be able to pick up some other quests down there as well. How do I get to Kalimdor? It's weird not seeing retired under my name. I can fly down to Booty Bay, or I can fly up to the other place. Booty Bay.
Well met.
So it will take me 5 minutes 43 to get there, 4 minutes 6 to get there. So up there will bring me slightly.
Be careful.
We'll go here. It doesn't matter. I think it all balances out. Thereabouts. So basically, there's the if I go up, it takes slightly longer, but can bring me to Terramore, which will is below Ratchet, thereby, like the first leg of the journey is longer than the second leg, but the first leg of the journey is longer than. Okay, go up is longer than going down, but then on the second leg, going up is shorter. Because you end up that bit further down to begin with. Because, like, Booty Bay brings you to Ratchet, and Ratchet's north of Terramore. So. Should all balance out the same in the end, but. So, you ever going anywhere? Seemingly not. But yeah, apparently they're not getting rid of the Season Discovery servers. They have plans for them, which to me sounds like Burning Crusade SOD. But they have, the fresh servers that you've seen footage of. They're probably no longer fresh at this point. By the time that this video comes out, they may be closed, for all I know. Whoa. Another Shadow Power elixir sold, but those fresh servers are going into Burning Crusade, so would they do the same with this? Have two Burning Crusade servers at the same time? Maybe they currently have two Classic servers at the same time. Some people want SOD, some people want Classic. I need to catch up on Fresh. Everyone else has far outstripped me. They played a lot more, so need to get back to it. It'd be nice to, if I can stop bitching about the writing, to play a Warlock for a bit, Undead. I think my bitching is kind of taken away from it for myself, though, to be honest. Plus, I am a bit disappointed. I had a story idea there. Like, I was talking about how Blizzard writing isn't the best. They've, been retconning things too liberally. The chronicles in Warcraft 3, the chronicles for Warcraft, for example, they're meant to be like effective lore bibles, but they've now retconned them to being, they're merely a scribe's opinion, and they can be flawed because they've wrote themselves into a corner, and so want to rewrite things, so they've got more leeway rather than making the borders broad enough in the first place and then working within them. Like I was saying that they could have made Shadowlands work, but the idea would be like, how there's like Draenor and the different elements over there. Let's say there was a unique afterlife to another plane, not Draenor, but another world. We've already visited other places. You could do an expansion where we visit somewhere else. Some other force tries to visit Azeroth, maybe drawn by the emanations of the Well of Eternity. You may say, but that collapsed ages ago. That's just how far away the place is. They sensed the power and were drawn to it, despite the fact it's long since stopped. It's like radio waves echoing into the void. Somewhere hundreds of years, light years away, is hearing 1950s music in, a couple of centuries. that kind of thing, but with the emanations of the Well of Eternity. So, sorry, I was hearing a bit of background noise, getting a bit distracted. Fuck. So, oh, that model being added in. Hmm. But, oh, Thunder Fury. Nice. But, but, you know, they're drawn to the emanations as well. It's long gone, but, you know, they're drawn to it. And they open a portal. Much like the Dark Portal, but rather than having, you know, Conspirator on our side, just through, like, force of will, the portal is built. Well, like the Dark Portal, it's, you know, they built a portal on their side and it forms on the other. You know, great feat of power. And they trying to invade. So we counter invade and have a new wall to go to, like Draenor. We have the two versions of it. And from, you know, we establish that world, and then next expansion, or expansion after, we do something in between. We have this afterlife thing. The power is seeping through the still remaining portal, and it's it's the jailer in the afterlife drawing in, you know, souls from it, grabbing villains, grabbing heroes. You know, you can still have the Scourge rising. He's sending back various bosses to cause havoc. And, you know, you have that whole Scourge boss event. You know, you can have this going on. You can still have Ulter, you can still have Artis, you can still have all these turn up, drawn from their righteous end, their righteous afterlife, wherever they should be, and thrown into this new circumstance, this new afterlife. So rather than retconning all the like afterlives, like, you know, Karn's whole religious beliefs have been proven false in Shadowlands. Everyone's religious beliefs was proven false in Shadowlands. So by having this set elsewhere as this other world's afterlife, you don't decanonize them. You still get to bring these characters back to get to see them one last time, but you don't decanonize what's there, what's established. You make it like this, you know, we call the place. You gotta give me a moment to come up with something to throw sounds together in my head. Okay, fuck it, Malanak. You know, Planet Malanak over there. Their afterlife, that's their afterlife. You know, it's still a death god, but it's a localized being, like the elements of Draenor, different to the elements of Azeroth. You know, there's a regional thing, you know? So it's a localized afterlife, leaking into Azeroth through the portal and stealing the heroes. You can still have all the like realms of the afterlife. You know, the different domains. You can still have the arbiter. You can still have all this. This is just how their afterlife is structured and formed. I think that would have been much better. You still get these afterlife things, and it's not pinning the jailer as haha I've been behind this other villain the whole time, or you don't involve him in storylines that have already been handled and fully established. He's a new villain on the scene being established, and you aren't decanonizing anything. You're adding to the story without changing things or bastardizing things. I think this would have been much better. Of course, that's basically two expansions right there, but there you go. think that would have been better. That being said, I've never finished Shadowlands, but I've heard enough about it to know that, and I've played enough of it to know that I'm not a fan of it. Oh, yay! More elixirs have sold. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about it because I think that would have been a fun idea. You know, Blizz, feel free to take that idea if you want to, retcon out Shadowlands. Do an expansion, bring us to a new world, and then plonk us over there, rewrite a few bits. You know, there you go. You can still do things, I'm not sure how you could really tie in Anduin. Maybe Varian Soul gets thrown over there, and it's a dramatic thing. Anduin sees it, he senses it, and he's drawn to it. How could you tie in Sylvanas? I'm not really sure you could. Because her whole thing was that she's been conspiring with him the whole time. There's no previous establishment for him, so. But yeah, somehow she'd been conspiring with him the whole time. So, given that this will be on a different world and a different world's afterlife, it's even more disassociated from Azeroth, rather than it being the afterlife for the all of existence, or at least our dimension. It's the which is Shadowlands and canon. This will be the afterlife for over there. So I'm not sure you could really tie in Sylvanas. But to be honest, the whole Sylvanas tie-in with it was probably also a bit of a failing of it. There was no previous establishment of the jailer, of her working with him. So yeah, it's, I think that would be one plot thread they would have to drop. They could have still worked the Shadowlands, but not everything could carry over. Maybe the Anduin stuff couldn't. Which the Anduin stuff leads right into the War Within. So yeah. To be honest, I feel like at this point killing Sylvanas would have been a better ending than giving her a chance of redemption, because she's done too much evil. She's comically evil. The Forsaken are comically evil. You see it in the the Warlock quest, the My Undead Warlock. We're trying to make a new plague, and the character's talking about bathing the world in it. If I ever get to do Wrath Classic, you'll see the Ratgate stuff. Futris was perfectly in line with the Horde till, the Ratgate, when he went rogue at Vermatris's, poking. But he was, other than that, he was in line with Forsaken politics, making that plague. They had planned to use it on more than just the Lich King. You see it in Legion. You see it in Kata. Them plague bombing places. Even when Garrosh tells them knock it off, they're plague bombing the places, turning people into slimes, or creating plague slimes just from slime itself. They are, burying people. They're performing experiments on the random civilians they capture. They are, torturing people. They're using, plague sprayers in Legion. The Forsaken are comically evil. So, I do wonder how Blizzard's handling that in modern WoW. Because, they're suddenly, having a council and doing stuff it wasn't just Sylvanas like this. The whole Apothecary Guild was like this. The corruption is, this vileness is built into Forsaken society. So I'm wondering, somehow I doubt they're acknowledging that too much. Somehow. Apparently Talia, the artist's sister, isn't a retcon. Well, at least not a recent one. She was actually mentioned in a 2000s book. I think it came out pre, WoW. So she was never mentioned in Warcraft 3, but she did actually come out years and years ago. I just didn't know she existed. Because I've mainly played the games, and so much lore is in separate material. But then they retcon that separate material at a moment's notice, like the Chronicles, which were effectively meant to be game Bibles previously. They may not have used the term game Bible, but whatever term they used was effectively the same thing. They like there's quests in game that are retconned out by side material, but then that side material is retconned itself. Um, there's a quest. Like I was wrong before about Blackhand. The Horde do canonically kill him in game. Well, I was saying that he didn't die till 25 years after Ragnaros, which hasn't actually happened yet. But I just misremembered what the wiki said, the phrasing on the wiki. Um, so 5 4. I misremembered that, so I was wrong. But Blackhand dies in Classic, but the quest to kill him is brought back in Kata. But that quest is non-canon. He died in Classic. They just didn't revamp it. So they brought back in a they give you a quest that does not happen. They give you a quest that does not happen. He died years ago. That quest is non-canon. For the Alliance, you have this quest to kill Onyxia. It never happens. It is non-canon. Who killed Onyxia? As far as I know, it was Varian Rin in the comic book. But part of that comic, as far as I know, is non-canon. The whole Varian being split in two, I think, is non-canon. I think it was actually meant canonically is a doppelganger. That's just a figment, just made by. It's not like half. It's not like half of him. It is literally just a simulacrum. It is just a phantasm of him rather than part of him. You know. So I think part of that comic's been retconned. I'm not sure. What I know has been retconned is, Medivh. I think he's been retconned out. I don't think they want to use him, but still the events of his book are canon, but they don't want to use the character. And even if the character is going to be used, then the events surrounding him are decanonized. For example, he becomes the guardian at Terrasville for a time, and fights Cho'Gall when he's trying to resurrect Khatun. He's trying to resurrect Khatun, and he fights Cho'Gall, and that's why Cho'Gall and Kat is covered in Khatun eyes. But him becoming the Guardian is non-canon, and his own canonical status is in question because they don't seem to really want to do anything with him. So, they have a ton of writers coming in, but there's no real quality control or lore control. They just write things, and sometimes they're declared canon, sometimes they're not. Like, the Atomai crystals were a creation by Christie Golden that they liked so much that they make references to and are now canon. But they weren't canon previously. They've just ascended. So, yeah, there isn't really good quality control and care about the lore and the writing. And it is kind of aggravating. I just talked for 20 minutes here about bitching about the lore. But yeah, that's what burnt me out on playing the other game. So, because it's kind of ruining the good vibes, But But yeah, I like WoW. As much as I was bitching about it there, I do like WoW. It just, they need to show it more care. They need to show it more love. They need to be better about it. Better about it than they are. They need to be better about it than they are. But to be honest, I don't see that being all too likely. So, ooh, nice. That's handy.
How may I help
I still like the idea of my idea for Shadowlands of it being a afterlife for another plane, another place, another world. That way you can still have the like, calling in the like old characters. You get to see like Karn or Artis or Uther, but it's not decanonizing their afterlife or what we believe to have happened to them. It's not decanonizing them. So, yeah. Um, I think that's a better idea than what they did, where like I saw one person commenting that characters are saying things for the story rather than for themselves. The characters should be, I feel this way, I feel that way, but they're saying the story feels this way, the story feels that way. Like Karn has had his whole afterlife that he's a very religious guy, and he's had his whole afterlife proved false, incorrect, but he's just like for the afterlife, for the Shadowlands, even though it's not what he believed would exist, it's not what he believed would be there, and he's not bothered by that in the slightest. When he should be. Anyone with a degree of religiosity should be shaken by it. And hell, even if they lack the religiosity, the fact that, like, say if you're a selfless hero, you're going to be mind raped and tortured till you lose any connection to your past life, what made you be that selfless hero, till you toil away happily for some hostile eldritch intelligence. That's the afterlife for a champion. That's the afterlife a champion would get. It's like psychopathic torturers. It's not a happy place. So, any, I suppose I can't comment too much on Shadowlands. I never did finish it, but I do plan to on some point. But yeah, but yeah, that was too easy for you, wasn't it? Barely broke a sweat in that duel. You have much more potential. It'd be a shame for you not to realize it. Take this and try again, but this time ask me for a real challenge. Not sparring, practice sparring we just did. Trust me, you'll learn even more when under pressure. Could be a warrior thing. But, yeah, basically what they did in Shadowlands, they canonized character. Oh yeah, I was saying that was the critique that they had, was that characters are saying things for the story rather than for themselves. And from what they've said, that makes sense. Like, Karn should be commenting on how the Shadowlands is different to what he believed would exist, and, concern at that, that everything he believed was a lie. He shouldn't just be rolling with it. There should be acknowledgement, there should be commentary on that. There should be, something there. Any character with religiosity should be acknowledging stuff, reacting to the world around them. They should be commenting like, "This is what is going to await me." You know, you know. Like I said, the mind rape and torture. This is what I have in store. There should be shock. There should be commentary. Maybe some would enjoy that. Who knows? There should be some character interaction of the actual character rather than them just being a vehicle for the story. Or just not witnessing the place around them. So, like, I like the idea of the Warcraft setting. I like it, but the writers don't show it the love that they should be, and the interest that they should be. So, it's not liable that we're ever going to get, the goodness that it should be,
How may I help?
Look behind you, human. The hive stirs as the land that surrounds us shudders and shakes. The time has come for me to fulfill a promise I made 1,000 years past. The sands shift once more as the Karaji prepare a plan for war.
next we meet.
The embrace of death had all but overcome my being when he intervened. He breathed only once upon my main body and then waited patiently for the sands of time to cleanse my wounds. Forever you will remain if you must, he said, and with those words was bound as watcher. Now, look now to the desert. The second war is upon us. Must seek out the resting place of the bronze, venture to the caverns of time, and see if the master has returned. I must be sure before I am to proceed.
Peace, friend.
Not all Tauren despise your kind, human. Alas, I am forbidden to offer you my services.
Farewell.
Well, to be honest, I'll be surprised if you despise humans much. You wouldn't really have much contact.
What brings you here?
Like orcs, sure. Trolls, sure. Tauren, no. We have much more than one enemy in Silthus, Gorik. While everyone's attention is focused on Silthid, my big brother and I have been keeping a close eye on the Twilight Hammer crazies.
Ancestors.
Some of the Twilight Hammer cultists have carried around little papers with gibberish written on them, which bring me a stack of them, Paladin. Can't figure out what the gibberish means, but that's not the point. The papers are how their different groups communicate secretly. The more text we take out of circulation, the less they can communicate. We've seen the Twilight Hammer cultists performing rituals to summon powerful elemental nobles. We don't know if these beings are the beings the cultists worship. They act as intermediaries to even more powerful forces. One thing is for sure: they're receiving orders from these elementals. I want you to find a way to contact an elemental Templar and give it a proper beating. None throws the troops into disarray like taking out chain of command. Bring back proof while you're at it. There was a novel series, game series, something, where I think it was a game series with novels or like story to it, like a pen and paper game. Where there was an organization for dealing with cults and summoning like fishmen and eldritch horrors and whatnot, and they stole a tome from the cult for summoning. So they would set up kill box and do the ritual to summon in the fishmen, again and again and again, slaughtering them to the point where the fishmen stopped responding to the summons because they just keep getting shanked every time they turn up. And yeah, it's funny to me. Spirits of Sotus call out to us, Skorik. The land weeps, for it has a woeful story to tell.
Walk with me,
But yeah, so yeah, that's just funny to me. They have the Tome of Summoning and basically deactivate it through just sheer gunpowder. Not destroying the tome, but rendering the summoning spells moot through just killing the whatever responds enough times. I'm not sure if they I'm not sure if the beings themselves die truly, or if they just or if it's just a setback. But once bitten, twice. 20 times bitten. Twice shy. Or if it's like, Frank, Fred, and George never came back, maybe we should stop answering the phone. Or if it's more like that kind of situation. Either way, it's funny. The Twilight Hammer, an insane cult bent on destruction, set up camps in Sothis, perform rituals day and night. We do not yet know their plans, but we do think they are somehow linked to the pulsing red crystals across the desert. Though their mystery may one day be solved, we must first deal with their immediate threat. Go to the camps west and seek out the Twilight Geolords. They are the heads of these serpents. That is where we must strike. Well, we already know the secrets. They summon in the elemental beams. Pay attention to your brother, man.
Aye.
Can you hear it, stranger? The humming is getting louder with each passing day. These crystals must be what's driving these bugs crazy.
Keep your feet on the
A camp of Twilight's Hammer cultists once thrived northwest of here. If you were to venture there now, you'll find the area swarming with elementals and nothing but scattered pieces of wood and canvas to mark where the camp was. I've crafted a few fragments of clay, a few fragments of clay tablet from the site, but it's too few of them to piece anything useful, piece together and useful. See if you can find the remaining tablet fragments so we can shed some light into the Twilight's Hammer presence here in Sothis. I need to grind up a Cenarian Circle wrap. When I consider doing AQ, it'll help, but I can do it out here too. Greetings, Paladin. Welcome to Cenarian Hold. From here, we will strike against Silted, where they're at their strongest. Hope you've come to lend a hand. Cenarian Hold is a location of utmost strategic importance. I'm convinced that while we hold it, our victory over Silted is guaranteed, provided our influx of supplies can be maintained. That is, desert worms have proven to be more of a threat to our supply caravans than even the Silted themselves. Just this morning, our shipment of marrow grain was ravaged by a group of dredge strikers. I need to thin their numbers to ensure supplies aren't jeopardized. Why do you want marrow grain? Deck clasp, Terror of the Sands. The terrible Scorpid deck clasp is believed to have retreated to the southern mountain range in the presence of increased Silted activity. She represents a great threat to patrols and expeditions in southern regions. Individuals participating in instruction will be remunerated handsomely. Inquire with Captain Vish Kozos at the top of the Cenarian Watchtower for a reward. I need a drink at this point. Ishnu, human. Should be proof of the demise of the Lord of the Abyssal Council, and I shall reward you with an item that shall aid you in your battles against the Kryshi. It's not a bad ring. Could be better, but it's not terrible.
You got my attention.
Greetings and salutations from Manor Ravenholt, adventurer. Greetings and salutations from Manor Ravenholt, adventurer. My brother and I run the poison operations out at the Manor Ravenholt. Lord Ravenholt had tasked me to track down a new and extremely effective poison compound that can be crafted from the venom sacs of the inhabitants of Zulgrub in the ruins of Anchorage. These two particularly venomous beasts residing in the blast ruins that possess what it is we might be looking for, Paladin. Bring me a venom sac from the beasts and Veninox. We should be eternally grateful. Jesus Christ. It's nothing for me, basically. But still, it's a quest. Greetings, traveler. As long as you remain within the walls of Cenarian Hold, you will be safe from harm. Be wary of when leaving the protection of the hold, the Silted have been swarming as of late. Adapting to life in desert has been difficult, to say the least. Not only do I miss the birds and trees of Orbidy, but our food selection is fairly limited by this arid environment. I'm trying to learn about desert herbs, but there aren't many. I've seen Twilight Hammer groups from the camp west of here hunt sandworms for food. Sandworm meat was so bitter now. Can't imagine how they make it palatable. Keep your eyes open if you go into their camp and let me know if you learn anything. That's the recipe I wanted ages back. They only introduced it now. Beatrix Ficklesbragg at your service. My cousin Noggle makes a living gathering rare herbs for Cenarian Hold alchemists, or used to anyway. Came back from his last trip with a strong poison running through his veins. Managed to slow the venom, but to neutralize it fully I need poison samples from whatever stung him. Noggle arrived from the north, so I'd bet my stone-lash scorpids or sans skitters did it. Bring me stingers and fangs that'll make an antidote for him. Okay. We'll talk to big guy in here, and then we'll head up to the tower.
What brings you here?
What now? Why now, human? Just do not understand. So much work to be done. My dear Natalia has gone missing. Truth be told, she'd been acting strangely for weeks leading up to her disappearance. I'd caught her talking to herself when no one was around on more than one occasion. She was adamant that everything was okay and that she must be allowed to continue her research. So I was seen heading to Bronzebeard's camp to the south. My soldiers are spread too thin, Gurik. I need to go to Bronzebeard's camp and question those dwarves. 1, 2, 3. I need to continue Darashar, but that can be done later. So let us mount up and head to elsewhere.
What brings you here? Goddess.
They're still in the raid. I need to get back into this. I need to get back into playing this because I want to see all the different stuff. I want to, participate in the game. You know, so I need to get back to it. I need to get back to a lot of things like editing. I did a huge rush of SOD editing recently. Got about 50 full episodes done, 3 readings, and a few auction episodes. But though to be fair, a lot of that was done over a stretch of time. Um, yeah, a lot of it was done over a stretch of time. I'd done maybe 20 of it before, 30 of it before, videos total, and then I did more recently. But I don't don't have drive, momentum. Um, I'm hoping to change that, but I've been hoping that for a long time. It's just with all my stopping and starting, editing is really painful. It's actually not too bad when it's just like beat per beat per beat per beat, just getting stuff done. Even if I have to check, if it's just like 2 things per session, 3, it's not too bad. But I recorded a thing there the other day, and I nearly hit the Z in subsessions. The series is new, and it's when I recorded Dark Souls 3, I finished my first run of it. New game, new game in 66 subsessions. My run now of this new game is nearly at 66, 10 hours in, 11 hours in. It's 50 something. It's barely sub 60. So we say think it's still sub 60. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, it's something I need to get better about. Stopping and starting, stopping and starting. Something I really need to get better about. It's just I get paranoid, like, oh god, did I slur my word there? Because sometimes I misspeak, I slur my word, and in one case it actually did turn into a slur. I said a word that was close to one, but meant something very different, and then it turned into one. Because I misspoke. This was years back, and I'm not sure if it's ever happened again, but I'm always paranoid. Always scared that it will. So I have to keep stopping and starting to avoid such a circumstance. Or I forget what I said, and it's just like, shit, what the fuck did I say there? And, oh, no, wrong way. And so wait, garage? I didn't think they were invading places just yet. But, alright. But yeah, that rock was half see-through. But yeah, it's just stopping, like, I forget what I was saying, so I have to stop so future me can check. And, this kind of thing. Probably tied in with a quest, or it's just environmental. Not sure. But, but, yeah, I forget what I'm saying, so I have to stop so future me can check. I get worried, oh no, intrusive thought. I didn't say it, did I? Because sometimes I say what's crossing my mind. This kind of thing, so I need to get better about it. Just less paranoid. More confident. No, you didn't fuck up. It would make my life easier. This certainly has changed between what we've seen in the anniversary and here. I popped in to see the anniversary, but when I thought I couldn't do the Blackrock Depths raid, I just gave up and left after looking around for a while. But fucking Chronalis. But it turns out I can actually do the raid, just in LFR. Okay, I wasn't to talk to him. Told us to talk to him. Whatever. So I'm just to discover them and leave. I thought it said one guy would talk to me. Oh no, maybe he's just not hostile. Maybe that's it. Yeah, just talk to him. Or well, just get into the vicinity of him. So... let's move. Hopefully I don't have a combat quest to do anytime soon in this chain. Got a 10-minute debuff to worry about first.